This villager is more than 10 times stronger than the kingdom's legendary hero. And now, two princesses from enemy kingdoms want to marry him, for completely opposite reasons. The human princess offers Koji her hand in marriage if he joins her party, and helps her kill the demon king. But the demon king's own daughter wants to marry him for an entirely different reason. She believes Koji can protect her dying father, bring humans and demons together, and create a world where both races can finally coexist. Two princesses, two enemy kingdoms, and one ridiculously overpowered villager, standing directly between them. But here is the problem. Koji does not care about becoming a hero. He does not care about marrying a princess, and he has absolutely no interest in choosing either kingdom. All he wants is to hunt monsters, collect their rewards, and live a peaceful life. Unfortunately for him, when you are a level 999 villager, the world does not leave you alone for very long. And everything begins when Koji saves a mysterious young girl, without realizing that she is the daughter of the demon king himself. The story takes place in a world called Earthqualia. In this world, every person is born with a specific class, and that class usually decides their entire future. A person born as a warrior can strengthen their body, master powerful weapons, and fight dangerous monsters. A mage can control destructive magic, and those born with legendary classes, such as hero, sage, or king, are treated as people destined to change the world. But at the very bottom of this system are the villagers. Villager is considered the weakest and most useless class in existence. Villagers receive almost no combat abilities, their growth potential is extremely low, and most of them never even approach level 10. Because of this, society has already decided what villagers are supposed to do. They grow food, they maintain inns, they work in shops, and whenever monsters appear, they wait for someone stronger to protect them. Koji Kagami was also born as a villager. But Koji never accepted the idea that villagers were supposed to remain weak. For years, he completed missions, fought monsters, collected experience, and continued leveling up, long after every normal villager would have reached their limit. Eventually, Koji reached a level that should have been impossible. Level 999. Yet instead of becoming a famous adventurer, or revealing his strength to the kingdom, Koji chose a much simpler life. He hunts monsters. He collects their drops. And he gets paid. That is basically his entire daily routine. One afternoon, Koji is sitting comfortably on a tree branch, counting the money he earned that day. While doing this, he notices a father and his young son being attacked by a slime. Both of them are only level 1. For an experienced adventurer, a slime is barely a threat. But for two powerless villagers, even this weak monster could easily kill them. The father tries to protect his son, but neither of them has the strength to fight back. The slime prepares to attack. Koji does not draw a sword. He does not cast a spell. He simply takes one of the coins he was counting and flicks it. The coin shoots through the air like a bullet, striking the slime and destroying it instantly. For Koji, it required almost no effort, but the father and son have no idea what they just witnessed. Koji jumps down from the tree, then calmly checks whether either of them is injured. Thankfully, both are unharmed. He gathers the coins dropped by the slime and hands them to the young boy. Koji explains that monsters sometimes drop money and valuable materials when they are defeated. Hunting them can therefore be a surprisingly effective way of earning a living. The child admits that he could never do something so dangerous. Monsters are simply too frightening. Koji begins walking away, but before he can leave, the boy stops him with one final question. He asks whether Koji is a hero. After all, only a legendary hero should be capable of defeating a monster that easily. Koji casually opens his status screen. His class appears first. Villager. The father and son are confused. But then, they see the number beside it. Level 999. They stare at him in complete disbelief. A villager reaching level 10 would already be unusual. A villager reaching level 999 should not even be possible. Koji eventually returns to the Adventurers Guild to report the missions he finished that day. The guild rewards him with several gold coins, immediately attracting the attention of every adventurer nearby. Most people would need to complete dangerous missions for weeks to receive that kind of payment. Koji apparently earned it in a single day. The other adventurers begin whispering among themselves, wondering how many monsters he must have defeated. Koji ignores them. He is not interested in becoming famous. He is focused on saving an enormous amount of money for a mysterious item he wants to purchase. He has already collected a fortune, but he is still far from reaching his goal. So Koji walks over to the quest board, searching for another profitable mission. That is when he overhears several adventurers discussing a dangerous location, known as the Ancient Cavern. Recently, an unusual number of blue devils have appeared inside it. The capital has offered a large reward to anyone willing to investigate the cavern and reduce the monster population. For most adventurers, the mission sounds suicidal. For Koji, it sounds profitable. Blue devils drop valuable materials, and the kingdom is paying extra for every monster defeated. That means Koji can collect the monster drops and receive a mission reward at the same time. To him, the ancient cavern is not a death trap. It is a business opportunity. And so, without hesitation, Koji accepts the mission. But before he can leave town, another man arrives and draws everyone's attention. His name is Rex. And unlike Koji, Rex is officially recognized as a hero. In the center of town, Rex stands before a large crowd, announcing that humanity is preparing for war against the Demon King. His goal is to gather the strongest possible party, travel into demon territory, and eliminate the Demon King once and for all. Standing beside him is Krull, a sage, and the third princess of the kingdom. The crowd immediately becomes excited. Joining this party would bring money, recognition, and perhaps even a place in history. Several experienced adventurers begin volunteering. The first is a powerful warrior, whose level is already above 80. For almost anyone else, a level 80's warrior would be an incredible companion. Rex rejects him. Rex reveals that he himself has reached level 90, and claims that anyone significantly weaker would only become a burden. The warrior points towards Krull, whose current level is much lower than his. Rex explains that Krull possesses the legendary sage class, and therefore has enormous future potential. She is also a royal princess, meaning her involvement would strengthen the kingdom politically. It is a reasonable explanation. At least, at first. Next, an elderly priest volunteers. Rex rejects him because of his age. He claims that a long journey would be too physically demanding, and that the priest could slow down the party. Then, a much younger priest volunteers. He is highly experienced, physically fit, and powerful enough to satisfy nearly every requirement Rex just mentioned. Rex still rejects him. A moment later, a young and attractive female cleric named Tina volunteers. Her level is lower than the men Rex rejected, yet Rex immediately accepts her. Then, a beautiful mage named Paruna steps forward. Rex accepts her almost instantly as well. At this point, it becomes obvious that Rex is not only building a powerful hero party, he is also carefully designing the exact kind of traveling group he personally wants to look at every day. Koji watches the recruitment from a distance. He understands the prestige that would come from traveling beside a hero, a sage, and a princess. But he has no interest in volunteering. Fighting the Demon King would be dangerous, exhausting, and probably much less profitable than completing ordinary quests. So, once the recruitment show ends, Koji leaves for the ancient cavern. Elsewhere, a small red-haired girl is already approaching the same cavern. She has traveled there in search of a legendary sword, hidden deep inside. The weapon is said to possess enough power to kill even the Demon King. The girl clearly understands how dangerous the cavern is. But whatever reason brought her there is strong enough to overcome her fear. After defeating nearly enough monsters to complete the mission, Koji spots Rex and his newly formed party, deeper inside the cavern. Koji immediately hides. It is not because he is afraid of them. He simply senses that traveling near this group would create unnecessary drama. And Koji has developed a powerful instinct for avoiding unpaid problems. Rex's party is not inside the cavern merely to hunt monsters. They are following royal symbols, carved into the walls. These symbols lead towards a secret chamber, containing a legendary sacred sword. According to Rex, the weapon can only be used by a hero who has reached level 90. With the sword in his possession, Rex believes defeating the Demon King will become almost guaranteed. Paruna questions why the royal family left such an important weapon hidden inside a cavern, instead of giving it to one of the other heroes. Rex explains that the hero class is rare. But he is not the only hero in existence. The royal family never wanted to hand a weapon of that power to someone they could not control. They hoped that a member of the royal bloodline would eventually awaken as a hero. But that never happened. Since Rex is now traveling with Princess Krull, the royal family finally considers him trustworthy enough to receive it. The party reaches the hidden chamber. However, instead of finding the legendary sword, they find the red-haired girl, standing beside an empty stone pedestal. The sword is gone. Rex immediately suspects that the girl stole it. She tries to explain that the weapon was already missing when she arrived, but the party notices something far more alarming. 2 horns are growing from her head. The girl is a demon. So, even though this demon is only a child, Rex's party prepares to eliminate her. The girl is surrounded. The heroes begin launching their attacks, and just before their magic reaches her, Koji steps between them. He blocks the combined attack, as though someone had thrown a handful of dust in his direction. The entire party freezes. These are powerful adventurers. Their combined magic should have destroyed almost anything inside the cavern. Yet this ordinary-looking villager stopped it, without showing any effort. Rex demands to know why Koji is protecting a demon. Koji looks at the frightened girl, then decides that admitting the obvious would only make the situation worse. So, he tells them that the horns are simply unusual hair accessories. It is not the strongest lie anyone has ever told. But because the girl does not appear dangerous, and because Koji says it with complete confidence, the party hesitates. They still believe she may know something about the missing sword. That is when Koji suddenly remembers something. Several months earlier, while exploring the cavern, he found a strange sword embedded inside this exact stone. Nobody else was around. There was no sign explaining that it belonged to the royal family, so Koji pulled it out, and sold it to a local merchant. The entire party stares at him. Rex explains that the sword was protected by powerful magic. Only a level 90 hero should have been capable of removing it. Koji admits that the sword felt unusually heavy, but after applying a little more strength, it came out. Party refuses to believe him. So Koji walks over to the massive stone that once held the sword. Then, he lifts the entire pedestal from the ground. At that moment, nobody knows what to say. Pulling the sword out was supposed to be impossible. Koji has just lifted the sword's magical prison, and half the floor beneath it. Rex finally asks the question everyone is thinking. What level is this man? Koji reveals his status. Villager. Level 999. The hero party falls completely silent. Rex, humanity's chosen hero, is level 90. Koji, a man with the weakest class in the world, is more than 10 times stronger. Krull quickly realizes what this means. If Koji joined them, they might not even need the legendary sword. She asks him to accompany their party, and help defeat the Demon King. She even offers her hand in marriage, as part of the arrangement. For many men, becoming the husband of a princess would be an opportunity beyond imagination. Koji rejects her immediately. He has no personal conflict with the Demon King. The Demon King has never attacked him, stolen from him, or interfered with his work. Koji therefore sees no reason to travel across the world, and murder someone, simply because the kingdom expects him to. He does not try to stop Rex from following his own mission. But Koji refuses to participate. Before leaving, he warns Rex that possessing the hero class does not mean he understands how the world truly works. Koji then takes the demon girl and leaves the cavern. Once they reach safety, Koji releases her hand and prepares to go home. The girl suddenly asks him to marry her. For the second time in a single day, Koji receives a marriage proposal from someone connected to a throne. And for the second time, he refuses. The girl quickly clarifies that she does not mean immediately. Her name is Alice. She believes that, once she becomes older, marrying a powerful human like Koji could help unite their two races. Koji is more interested in understanding why she entered the ancient cavern. Alice finally reveals the truth. Her father is the Demon King, and he is dying.